Welcome to latest news blast. In a heartbreaking twist that no one saw coming, sources close to Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton have revealed that Gwen's 3 sons, Kingston, Zuma, and Apollo, are reportedly refusing to see Blake in the aftermath of the couple's shocking split. As one of Hollywood's most unbreakable couples, Gwen and Blake's relationship has now turned into an emotional storm that's deeply affecting everyone involved, especially the kids who once viewed Blake as a father figure. A love story that captured the world. When Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton first met on The Voice in 2014, both were coming out of painful divorces, Gwen from Gavin Rossdale and Blake from Miranda Lambert. Their shared heartbreak drew them together in unexpected ways. By 2015, the two had become inseparable. Fans instantly fell in love with their chemistry, the pop queen from California and the country star from Oklahoma. Their romance felt genuine, full of laughter, music, and second chances. For years, Gwen spoke openly about how Blake had changed her life. "He helped me believe in love again," she once told Harper's Bazaar. Blake, on the other hand, often said that Gwen's sons were a gift he never expected. But now that fairy tale seems to have fallen apart, and those very children are caught in the crossfire. Blake's bond with Gwen's sons. Blake Shelton never had children of his own, but when he married Gwen in 2021, he embraced her 3 boys like they were his own flesh and blood. He was often seen taking them fishing, driving around his Oklahoma ranch, and attending family events. Fans loved how natural he looked in the role of a dad, someone patient, caring, and protective. In interviews, Blake said, "They're older now, but I still feel lucky to be a part of their lives. I take that role seriously. It's not something I take." For years, Gwen's children referred to him as Blakey, and according to insiders, he became their emotional anchor after their parents' divorce. But that bond is now hanging by a thread: the fallout, distance, and silence. After the announcement of Gwen and Blake's split, things reportedly turned tense. A source close to the family told People magazine. The boys were confused and angry. They had gotten used to having Blake around. He was a huge part of their lives. Now everything feels broken. According to multiple insiders, Gwen's sons have decided to take a step back from seeing Blake. They've stopped visiting the Oklahoma ranch and have declined video calls or meetings. Kingston, the oldest, who just turned 19, has reportedly been the most vocal about not wanting contact right now. He feels protective of his mom, one insider revealed. He saw her hurt, and he's angry about it. Meanwhile, Zuma and Apollo are said to be quieter but visibly upset. They miss him, the insider added, but they don't know how to handle it. Life after divorce. Since the split, Gwen Stefani has been focusing on rebuilding her personal and family life. The singer has been seen attending church services with her sons and spending quiet weekends at her Los Angeles home. She's heartbroken, a friend close to Gwen shared. She really believed Blake was her forever, but right now she's focused on her boys. They're her world. Blake, on the other hand, has reportedly returned to Oklahoma full-time. Sources say he's been keeping to himself, focusing on his farm, music, and spending time with close friends. He's devastated, one friend revealed. He loves those boys like they're his own. Losing them might even hurt more than losing Gwen. Social media reaction. Fans on social media have been divided. While some sympathize with Gwen and the kids, others are heartbroken for Blake. He stepped up when no one had to. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "He gave those boys a dad's love. This is so." Others, however, feel Gwen is doing what's best for her family right now. "Sometimes space is needed for healing," another user commented. "The kids need time to process everything." The story has sparked debates across fan communities about the emotional impact of blended families and public divorces. Music becomes their outlet. Both Gwen and Blake have reportedly turned to music to cope with the pain. Industry insiders say Gwen has been writing new material, raw, emotional lyrics reflecting heartbreak, motherhood, and healing. Meanwhile, Blake has been spending time in the studio as well. He's pouring his emotions into country ballads, one producer shared. "You can feel his pain in every note." Fans believe their upcoming songs will reveal deeper truths about what went wrong, subtle lyrics that hint at regret, loss, and unspoken pain. The hidden reasons behind the split. While neither Blake nor Gwen has publicly explained the cause of their breakup, insiders point to lifestyle differences and emotional distance. Blake prefers quiet country life, while Gwen thrives in California's entertainment scene. Over time, that gap reportedly grew wider. They were living in two different worlds, one source said. It wasn't about love, it was about lifestyle. They just couldn't find the middle ground. Others believe that work schedules, long-distance filming commitments, and family priorities slowly eroded their bond. Whatever the reason, it's clear that the breakup didn't just end a marriage, it fractured a family. What's next for Blake and Gwen? Reports suggest Gwen will remain in Los Angeles with her sons, focusing on her music, fashion brand, and family. She's been leaning on her friends, especially her no-doubt bandmates, for emotional support. Blake, meanwhile, is said to be open to reconciliation, not necessarily with Gwen, but with her children. He doesn't want to lose touch, said one insider. He's hoping time will heal things and the boys will come around. The singer reportedly sent gifts and handwritten letters to the kids, expressing how much he misses them. However, sources say Gwen believes they need space before reconnecting. A painful lesson in blended families. This situation is a reminder of how complicated love can become when families blend together. When two adults separate, children often bear the emotional aftermath. Gwen and Blake's story was once a beacon of hope, proof that love could rise again after heartbreak. Now it stands as a bittersweet lesson about timing, balance, and emotional connection. A family friend summed it up best. Blake gave those boys stability when they needed it most. Even if they don't see him now, deep down, they'll always remember what he gave them. The public's final word. As the world watches this once golden couple navigate their painful separation, fans hope the wounds will heal, not just between Gwen and Blake, but for the children who love them both. Whether or not they reunite someday, one thing is certain. Avery, the love, Blake Shelton, showed Gwen Stefani's sons changed their lives, and his, forever. In the weeks following the divorce, the silence between Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani's sons has become deafening. Once, a lively bond filled with laughter, camping trips, and late-night guitar sessions, now lies a void that both sides are struggling to fill. According to insiders, Blake has reached out several times, sending thoughtful messages and gifts to let the boys know he still cares. But the children's emotional walls remain firm. Blake sends little things, fishing gear, music equipment, or handwritten notes, said a close source. But it's not about gifts anymore. The boys are processing everything in their own way. For Blake, the silence has been unbearable. Friends say he spends hours at his Oklahoma ranch reminiscing about the moments he once shared with the boys, teaching Apollo to fish, watching Kingston perform music, or helping Zuma take care of animals. Those kids brought out a side of Blake that fans rarely see, a friend noted. He was more than a country star. He was a dad. Losing that role has been the hardest part. Gwen's protective instinct kicks in. On the other side, Gwen Stefani has shifted into full protective mother mode. While she still reportedly has love and respect for Blake, she's prioritizing emotional stability for her sons. Her main goal right now is to create peace, said a family insider. She doesn't want any drama around her kids. Gwen believes they need space to heal and understand what happened. Gwen has been encouraging her boys to focus on their routines, school, hobbies, and spending time with close family. Insiders say she's even been taking them on weekend getaways to disconnect from the constant media buzz. She's heartbroken, but she's also strong, the source continued. She wants her boys to grow up knowing that love can change, but respect remains. Even amid the pain, Gwen reportedly refuses to speak negatively about Blake in front of her children. She knows they loved him, the insider said. She doesn't want to take that away from them. She just wants them to feel safe. Blake's quiet regret and self-reflection. Back in Oklahoma, Blake Shelton is coping in his own quiet way. His friends say he's been reflecting on the past few years, both the beautiful memories and the choices that led to the breakdown of his marriage. He's reportedly turned much of his pain into music, spending hours in his private studio writing deeply personal songs. Some close to him believe his next album could be the most emotional work of his career. "You can hear it in his lyrics," said one insider. "It's not just about heartbreak. It's about family, loss, and learning to let go." Although Blake has not publicly commented on the divorce, he has hinted at emotional struggles during a recent event, saying, "Sometimes you think you've got life all figured out, and then God reminds you that you don't." Fans who were in attendance described his tone as humble and sorrowful, a far cry from the humorous, upbeat Blake they know from The Voice. Could there still be a path to healing? Despite the emotional distance, those close to both Gwen and Blake believe there's still hope for healing, especially between Blake and the kid. "Time can fix what words can't," said a family friend. Blake has been respectful. He's not forcing anything. He knows this isn't the moment to push for visits or calls, but deep down everyone believes those boys will come around one day. Experts in family counseling agree that blended families often experience deep emotional shifts after a breakup. However, if the relationships were genuine, they can be repaired over time. Dr. Emily Rhodes, a family therapist who specializes in post-divorce adjustment, explained, "Children tend to react strongly after a separation, especially when they've built emotional trust with a step-parent. The key is consistency. If Blake continues showing love and respect from a distance, those boys will eventually see that his feelings were real. The public yearns for a reunion." Fans have been vocal about their wish for peace. Social media has been flooded with comments urging both Gwen and Blake to reconcile, at least as co-parents to the boys. "They were such a beautiful blended family," one fan commented. "Even if they're not together, I hope Blake stays in those kids' lives." Another wrote, "Gwen and Blake brought out the best in each other. You could see the love. I just hope the boys don't lose the man who cared for them like a father." The sentiment is echoed across platforms. Fans aren't just mourning the end of a celebrity romance, they're mourning the loss of a genuine family connection that once felt unbreakable. Private healing, public pressure. While the headlines continue to swirl, both Gwen and Blake have reportedly decided to stay out of the public drama. They're avoiding interviews about the split and focusing instead on moving forward quietly. Still, being two of the most recognizable stars in music, staying private hasn't been easy. Paparazzi have followed Gwen to school runs and church outings, while Blake's every move in Oklahoma is being scrutinized. "Blake hates attention when it comes to his private life," said one close friend. "He's never been about the spotlight. He's just a simple guy who fell in love. Now he's trying to pick up the pieces." Gwen, meanwhile, is reportedly considering taking her boys on tour when she returns to performing next year, hoping to strengthen their family bond, remembering the good times. Even amid heartbreak, there's no denying the joy Blake brought into Gwen's sons' lives. From Christmas mornings spent on the ranch to spontaneous road trips and music jam sessions, those memories are woven into their childhood. Kingston once said in an interview that Blake taught him about being kind, even when life gets hard. Those words now hold heavier meaning. A family friend noted, "Even if things are different now, those lessons and moments will never fade. Blake made a mark in their lives that can't be erased. It's that love, quiet, genuine, and unconditional, that keeps hope alive for reconciliation down the line." Looking ahead, hope beyond the heartbreak. As 2025 unfolds, both Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton are entering new chapters in their lives. Gwen is focusing on her music, her boys, and her fashion brand, while Blake is channeling his emotions into songwriting and philanthropy. Sources close to both confirm there's no bad blood, just a deep sadness that things didn't turn out the way they'd hoped. "They're both heartbroken," said one insider, "but they